So my first, one of the first questions I typed in on Google was, who was the, who are the world's trillionaires, or are there any? Why? Because I wanted to understand the whole picture, and so that's led me to people like Alex Jones. For whatever reason, he was the only one talking about about that stuff at the time. But then after that, I realized, well, there's a lot of untruth in what he's talking about, and certain things. And then you have to move on to the next thing, something else. Peter Joseph of Zeitgeist Movement. And then I realized this is not the right idea and concept, because it has to do with it's expansionary. But he still has a lot of intelligence in certain areas. And then the next was Jordan Maxwell, and he has a lot of, so much intelligence in so many different ways is unbelievable. But with all these people, there's still untruths in what they're talking about in some areas. But you have to take everything as a psychological investment and decipher what is real and what isn't. And so those were my main influences, or where I got a lot of my knowledge from. And then the rest is just looking at the internet at a wide perspective and understanding what is happening on a world scale as opposed to local. So the opposite of local is global, but we only think local, which is the wrong idea and concept, because what affects other nations still affects the nation that you're in. And so that's the main problem that we're having worldwide, is the small perspective that people have. We're born out of the idea and concept of religion, which is very narrow. And then we were born into television, which is slightly more wider perspective. And then the internet, which is basically full perspective. The only higher perspective would be if you were like looking down on Earth from a satellite. And so those are my main influences, and that's my understanding of things.